Macca's Guides.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the 100% walkthrough for South of Midnight. We're now starting off Chapter 12. This is a bit of a story progression chapter. It's pretty light on the content, a lot of walking around, a lot of collectibles, 19 readables. That is a new chapter record. I think there's like 130 floofs, some of which are tin flips. We will be getting our last tin flip. We'll also be grabbing our last health filament upgrade in this chapter. So buckle in and prepare for a lot of readables back to back to back to back. But otherwise, a pretty laid-back chapter. Nothing crazy up ahead, no bosses or anything. Just start by sprinting forward. This is going to get a little complicated, but you shouldn't have too many issues just in this first section. You'll come to the post, and at the post to the right of it is a tree stump. And on this tree stump, once the character stops moving, here we do have our first of 19 readables. And now the way this intersection works is it's like an infinite loop if you don't go in the right direction. So we're going to follow the Town of Tapestry direction. For me here, it's to the right-hand side. And I'm going to go down the path to the right here. I may or may not loop back to like kind of the same exact place I was just in, but the loop doesn't go too often. All right, so I did make it back to the center here, and I'm going to use the left trigger to pull up the post, and the post now tells me the Town of Tapestry is forward. So now I'm going to go forward, and this will get me into a second loop, and you basically have to complete 2 successful loops, and once you do complete 2 successful loops, the collectible here on the tree stump is now the second out of 19 notes. So the first one was should I leave? The second one is should I stay? And you know you're at the second one because this cart spawned in the corner. And what we actually want to do is we want to go inside of the cart from the back. And once inside, there's like 4 or 5 collectibles in here. Walk forward and keep an eye out on the table directly in front of you. There is a gramophone, I want to say. That's going to be 3 out of 19 for readables. Just around the corner next to the fridge, there's a table with a lamp and some silver cutlery. We'll interact with that for 4 out of 19. We'll continue through the house. There will be a children's bike in front of us for 5 out of 19. We can then head around the corner here and up the stairs. As we come up the stairs directly in front of us, there are a couple of lampshades, a tortoise, and another readable note. This is number 6 out of 19. Just across the room from us is a refrigerator. Read that readable. And that will be number 7 out of 19 for you. And with 7 out of 19 already done in the opening minutes of this chapter, you can walk forward and interact with Hazel's box here, right here in the middle of the room. This should start a short little cutscene and then allow us to move forward out of this building.
Mama? Are you okay?
Oh, she's fine and fully healed.
You. Where is she? And you best not have.
Believe it or not, Hazel Flood, I got your best interest in mind. Meet me at Hixooonn's cabaret. I got a proposition that's right up your alley.
Hixooonn's cabaret?
Now, hold on now. You're gonna have to conjure up something different than what you wearing. That ain't you.
How did you... Listen, I have more important...
I don't make the rules. If you ready, you'll claim what's yours.
Hello? Hello? Claim was mine. Yeah? Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Okay.
All right, we regain control of Hazel here. I did prefer her last outfit in case anyone was wondering. I know nobody was, but we can now proceed to the main objective strand. Here, if you want to do a crazy speedrun shortcut, you can cut the bend just to drop down a floor lower. Gets you where you're going just a tiny bit quicker. Saved you about 5 seconds on the playthrough, which means you owe me a thumbs up on the video now. But once we come here, we're going to use our weave to make a wall run. That'll get us across the gap. As we drop down, follow in front of us, go through this arch using the grapple point. That'll grapple you into some combat. You know the drill, the combat section. Get through it as quickly as you want or as you can. And once you're done, I'll be here waiting for you. All right, we unravel the stigma after our fight here, and immediately there are some collectibles. You may notice the floof. Try your best to ignore it. There is a readable note we're going to grab first. So if you catch the floof on the side of the building here, walk up to the side of the building, jump over the little railing, and here right next to the building on a table, you will find collectible number 8 out of 19 for our readables. And after you grab that, you should grab the more obvious floof by pushing the box. You have to push it probably at least 2 times to grab up the ledge and grab the floof. From here, join the main story path by jumping across this gap right here. We'll need a double jump and a glide, and on the door of this shop front, you'll be able to interact with the readable for 9 out of 19. We're already halfway done through those collectibles for the mission, and again, we're only a few minutes in. You'll have to then jump across, use the wind current, wall run, and as you land, you might look to your left, you'll see a little billboard, and there is a small lawn chair here. That lawn chair has yet another readable 10 out of 19. You can then just continue forward. There will be readable number 11 out of 19 on your left as you walk forward.
Another one chasing the impossible.
Then what we can do is double jump, glide your way to the wall run, double jump, glide your way into the current, and then as you land, do not go forward. There's a couple things we want to grab. Go to the right, and then you'll notice the small house on your right. Go around it using the balcony here along the edge. Grab the readable note for number 12 out of 19. You can always press down on the D-pad to make sure you got all of them. We're at 94 out of 103. Instead of going back to where we're supposed to go, if you go to the edge of the map here, you may notice a weavable platform that we can jump to off the edge. So we're going to weave one platform, the second platform, into the third platform. This is a whole little side puzzle that will lead us to something you definitely don't want to miss. Grapple at the end, and here you'll be able to weave another rounded corner. At the end of that, you should be able to make a double jump across a gap. You'll now end up kind of above the street we were just at, and you should notice your final health filament of the game. This is 9 out of 9, which means you get an achievement. This one's also worth a great 100 gamer score, which is nice. Not all of the types are worth 100, but this one is. And celebrate. Hopefully it is still rare when you pick it up in your game. After that, let's go ahead and follow the main strand here. As you're following the main strand, you should see a neon sign kind of directly in front of you, but also pretty low. It's going to say Guldo's Jazz here. It's this neon pink and blue one. And as you reach it, look down and to the right to see a platform underneath your feet. Drop down to it to find a floof. You want to make sure you grab that floof. A lot more floofs are coming, but at the beginning of the chapter here, very heavy on the readables. You have to kind of turn around and then head up the staircase towards the objective strand. Keeping an eye out on your right-hand side, you'll notice another shop front with a note in the window. Make sure you grab that note for number 13 out of 19. from 13 out of 19, kind of look in the opposite direction. And here you'll see a platform down low that you can weave, double jump, and glide towards. It's kind of underneath the map. From here, you can grapple. Ignore the floof temporarily, as there is a readable note behind it, which I want your attention on first. After you grab readable note 14 out of 19, let's go ahead and grab the floof. And for floofs on the mission, we're at 40 out of 130, if you're keeping track. Once that's done, let's go ahead and rejoin to get to the arena. Jumping into the arena and taking care of the baddies until you can clear the stigma. With all of that done, go ahead and clear the stigma. And once it's cleared here, we can grab one of the trickier collectibles. So it's going to clear, and I know your strategy is to generally, I've taught you, to look behind you. This one's actually going to be in front of us after we clear the stigma along the objective strand. And this one is still tricky. As you come around the corner here, you'll come up the stairs, and the game automatically grabs your camera to point you kind of forward. Instead, you want to turn around behind you, and there's this billboard. You can pull this billboard down to reveal a double jump glide and then mantle up on the platform. And after you do that, you can drop down here, and there is a readable. It's going to be number 15 out of 19. There we go. And you'll also find a floof. This one is pretty tough, as you might see it from the arena below, but if you don't, you won't even think about looking here. So definitely an easier one to miss if you're not paying very, very close attention. And then from there, we can rejoin and just kind of continue along the story path here for a little bit. Not too long, as there is a shop front in front of us. This is the Taverne Tapisserie. There we go, trying my best French. And on the shop front there is number 16 out of 19. We can now move forward, and as we squeeze through the fencing here, we will notice the kind of clock tower directly in front of us that we need to use to get to Kushma's. It's to the left of the screen as we pan here during the cutscene. And our next objective is to get to that clock tower. And we're going to be doing that through a fair bit of platforming for the next minute or two. It's alright if you get hit by some of the brambles on the way through. Let's go ahead and now complete this arena, and there is some pretty good news. After this arena, we're unlocking more achievements. All right, let's clear that stigma and get our last 2 tin flips. Do not enter the building. I believe once you enter the building, it is a little bit of a point of no return. So we don't want to trigger that point of no return. I haven't tested it because I haven't wanted to waste more time trying to find collectibles in this game. So do not enter the clock tower, but facing the front door of the clock tower, turn around and you should notice a tin flip near the edge, kind of over your left shoulder. Grab that tin flip. And then facing the door again, you're going to want to go to the right-hand side of the clock tower to kind of get behind it. Here is another tin flip on the ground. And the moment of truth, if the achievement unlocks, I've been guiding you well throughout this series for now. And that is all the tin flips out of the way. But behind the building, before you enter, also make sure you grab the floof behind the building. So before heading into the building, we're at 80 out of 130. We have our health filament, and I believe we're at 17 out of 19 or something like that for the readables. There might be 2 or 3 readables in this building, but I haven't missed any, I promise. Go into the building when you're ready. And now there is a clock tower. If you look up, it's very high. We're getting all the way to the top there. So from where we entered, go to the other side of the room and pull the lever. Once you pull the lever, you'll notice the mechanism on the right starts moving, and you want to hitch a ride on one of these moving handles by just jumping at it, and you'll automatically hang on to it. It'll move you a floor higher, and when you're moved to the top, you can press B to drop down, and as soon as you drop down, there is another collectible. So go around the corner here and then double jump, glide your way through. Instead of going to the right, let's go to the left. There is a gear mechanism. We need to solve the puzzle, but on the table right next to it is number 17 out of 19. So there are 2 more to go for this chapter. Grab yourself a gear, and then you can throw it at one of these gears that's not moving. And once you do that, you should be able to grapple your way across. Once you've grappled your way across, we're going to continue climbing this clock tower for a bit. There are a lot of collectibles on the way up, but it's also a very tall tower. But if you stay along the main path, you should notice, hopefully, your next readable just around one of these corners here. The next readable is actually, if I'm completely honest, pretty hard to miss. But you do want to time your jumps through some of these rotating gears that do have these holes punched through them. So you just want to make sure you can obviously jump through the hole to the platform you're trying to get to. And if done correctly, around this corner right here, you'll have a grapple point. And then you want to grapple across and continue through, waiting for the next gear to rotate. Obviously, if you're really quick, you can get through these more quickly. I'm not trying to speed run the game. I'm trying to make a good guide that you can follow. You may have noticed the floof above our heads. We cannot grab it for now. But as we come around this corner here, with this gear in the corner and a little stool and a light, you can grab readable number 18 out of 19. And then around this corner, you can get the wall run to the next ledge. And as you drop down, you'll be able to see a kind of weavable gear. We're going to ignore that temporarily because there is a floof near the weavable gear. So we're going to ignore that gear, go across to the other gear on the far side, and then that takes us to a floof. If we take a quick pause, we're at 100 out of 130. And now we'll want to navigate kind of back where we came from. Don't weave the gear. I mean, you can weave the gear, but it's not really a great idea. You want to get back to the platform we were at, not far from the elevator in the corner. And you'll notice the big gear on the wall with the handles. And we're going to grab one of those handles right after we weave the huge gear in the middle of the room. And if done correctly, you don't have to grab the first one. You only have about 2 or 3 chances. So if you don't grab one of the first 3, it probably won't rotate enough. But if you grab like the second handle in the process there, as the handle reaches the top and you're holding on, you can drop down, and we are on our way now. Here we'll have to double jump, glide across the gap again. Here you'll notice that there is a handle we have to grab as it rotates, but you're going to have to shoot the weavable gear underneath your feet and then hopefully grab on quick. If you miss it like me, again, not a huge deal. Maybe for the better, as this is, again, not a speed run. I want you guys to be able to keep up if possible with the commentary. So once you're up top here, let's join the objective strand. There's quite a bit of climbing here on the clock tower, and there are still collectibles in the clock tower. After we grapple across, continue climbing. You should notice the glow of the blue floof pretty much in front of you as we kind of round one of these corners. But as I said, this tower is pretty tall, so there's quite a bit to do. Hopefully it's not too far from here. You'll know you're there when you are climbing a couple of boxes not far from where we are. So here you'll climb a box, and you just have to kind of watch out for the rotation. You may notice that glowing blue floof kind of above us and to the right. Climbing the box to the top allows us to then make a jump across to another box. We can shimmy across to the other side of it and climb it. This allows us to just keep getting higher and higher in the tower. You can transfer from the box to a counterweight to another box. Shimmy around the box to get to the top of it. And then as you're at the top, you'll wait for the gear in front of us to align. Once you have a straight shot, you can double jump glide your way to this box in front of us. You don't want to actually get too high, as you want to be near the bottom. If you're on the bottom rung, you can shimmy to the left to get to the other side. And from the other side, you can drop down straight onto the floof, which you should then grab. Get back on the box and shimmy to the right this time. And then you'll want to climb the box to the top. Jump across, and I believe there is an arena near the very top of this clock tower, which is just around the corner. Let's go ahead and finish the arena.
Headed up to here with y'all.
All right, that arena was not some of my best work, but it is what it is at this point. Clear the stigma at the top of the tower, and be very careful with this next step. It's very easy to take one small step forward, a little bit too far. We do want to exit the clock tower, but immediately after exiting, just wait. Do not go through the wind tunnel directly in front of us. I know it's, it looks fun. Instead, we want to turn to the left and navigate on the balcony of the clock tower. Around the corner on a box, you'll find readable number 19 out of 19, which brings us to 101 out of 103 for the entire game. And additionally, you'll find a floof on this balcony at the back. That floof also brings us to 130 out of 130 floofs. We have our health filament upgrade, which means that we are more or less finishing off the chapter now that we have all of the collectibles and we have the 100%. So go ahead, go forward into Kushma's, knock on the door to trigger a cutscene. After this cutscene, the mission is over.
Mama?
It's time for Kushma's Cabaret.
You again.
Come to the stage, my dear. See, once I too was just like you. I'd rule things I didn't do. I'd chew on every little wrong. Guilt from crimes was too strong. At night I'd lie awake in bed and
ponder what I should have said. Regret would dog me all night long. All I did just felt so wrong until Kushma came along. Dreammaker, kingmaker, Lord of bargain chance. Spin the wheel and make a wish. There's no payment in advance. Kushma master, power faster. No one comes close to him. All are welcome to stay forever. Time to sink or swim. So, what's on offer with this proffer? Choose an ending, you're the author. Over stakes become successes. Your choices, he obsesses until my game. Take this and go find your mama. I'll just ask you for a favor later.
So, this will take me to her?
She's waiting for you.
Don't forget to drop a like on the video, share the video with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and hopefully I see you soon. Peace.